This is Tank's Vlog for December 3rd, 2017. It's an NFL Sunday, week 13. Another week where we saw a lot of bad football. And most of that bad football was in Miami. Oh, my. Jay Cutler actually had a decent game. 235 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. But he gave up 1 pick six, of course. But the Denver Broncos carousel of nightmares continued as Trevor Siemian was horrendous. Oh. Is it me, or does that Bronco helmet logo look like the horse that was found in the director's bed in Godfather 1? I mean, the way this season's gone for the Denver Broncos, 35-9 loss. Vance Joseph is having the time of his life. Oh, boy. Vance Joseph will be having the time of his life next year, looking for a new coaching job. This continues. Hard to imagine he's not going to be one and done in Denver after just this brutal season. Brutal. I mean, the Dolphins recorded 2 safeties today. 2 safeties. The only points the Broncos scored besides the pick six was a field goal. And they're playing bad football. Bad special teams. Bad offense and bad defense. I mean, when you're bad in all 3 phases of the game, that's not good. And at 3-9, the Denver Broncos are dead in the water. 0-6 away from Denver. Rocky Mountain Low, Colorado. Minnesota Vikings now are the hottest team in the NFL and the NFC, winning their 8th straight. As Case Keenum continues to make his case for not only keeping the Vikings job, but maybe being an MVP candidate. 227 yards passing with 2 touchdowns. The Falcons, meanwhile, managed just 3 field goals. But what got me is some of the bewildering coaching decisions Dan Quinn made in the 4th quarter. He burnt up all his timeouts early, and the Vikings were just able to run out the clock. It really is puzzling. How Dan Quinn coaches teams in the 4th quarter. And the Vikings, in fact, they scored their 2nd touchdown in the 4th quarter. So the Falcons, once again, another blown 4th quarter lead. Super Bowl memories. Meanwhile, the New England Patriots are starting to look like that Super Bowl juggernaut again. Once again, hammering the Buffalo Bills. As Rob Gronkowski jumped off the top rope and did a WrestleMania move. Tom Brady did not have a great game, but didn't need to, as the Buffalo Bills, whenever they see that flying Elvis, crawl in the fetal position and go, are they going away? Are they going away? Ooh, are they going away? You know, the Buffalo, if you want to know why the Patriots have a dynasty, just look at the Buffalo Bills. They literally have no chance in the world of ever beating the Patriots. Brady has beaten the Bills 27 times in his career. It just illustrates the fact that the Buffalo Bills have not been competitive for 20 years. It's got to tell you something. In Chicago, Jimmy Garoppolo got his first start and got his first win. He wasn't spectacular, but he was good enough. 49ers got a game-winning field goal as the Bears' offense continues to just be dreadful with Mitchell Trubisky. They scored 14 points in the first half and didn't score again. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers got back to 500. They're 6-6 now. Brett Hundley, nice win, overtime win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, Packers still have a fighting chance. They don't have much of a chance, but they have a fighting chance. Tennessee Titans, they kept pace. They won 8-4. They're 8-4, so they stay in first place in the AFC South. Tom Savage had a decent game for the Texans, but in the end, the Titans just did what they had to do to win. And the Kansas City Chiefs, there's a team that has gone in the wrong direction. Last week, they couldn't get their offensive going. This week, their defense was awful. I mean, Alex Smith had the game of the day today. 366 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 70 yards rushing. I mean, Tyreek Hill had 185 yards receiving with 2 touchdowns. But when the game was on the line, the Chiefs crumbled. Absolutely crumbled. Self-destructing. Giving the Jets 2 first down opportunities in the red zone. And then after the 2-point conversion, you got Marcus Peters throwing a flag in the stands. I don't know. What's happened to Kansas City Chiefs is absolutely bewildering. And the whole division, AFC West, now stinks. You got 3 teams tied at 6-6. More on that later. But the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they kept pace with the Titans today, beating the Colts 30-10. I mean, this is the first time they've ever swept the Colts in the season. Blake Bortles actually had a decent game, 309 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. It's another lost season in Indy, 3-9, and basically is short of last place. Baltimore Ravens, they did something that the people of Detroit couldn't do today. They made the Lions collapse, 44-20. They scored 24 points in the final quarter. I mean, meanwhile, back in Pontiac, the Silverdome is singing old Elton John songs. I'm still standing, even though you blew me up. Your dynamite didn't work, yet I'm still standing. Looking rotten and crumbling, I'm still standing. I stood through many times, watching bad Lions games. I mean, if that ever is an illustration of the Detroit Lions spirit, lots of explosions and absolutely nothing. Nothing. So unlike the Lions, Pontiac Silverdome didn't collapse, and it was supposed to. In the later games, the Chargers, they avenged a loss from last season, beating the Browns 19-10. The Browns are now 0-12. Second straight year the Browns are 0-12. Their only win last year came against Chargers on Christmas Eve. The Browns have, any way you slice it, it's bad. I mean, basically, they are 4-45 since Thanksgiving in 2014. 4-45. Just think about that stat. Like I said, I think the Browns ought to disband, and they should have an expansion draft with a new franchise, new owners, and just start from scratch. I mean, they'd probably get better faster. Meanwhile, it was the Raiders over the Giants in a game that was as exciting to watch as paint drying. And the Raiders only led 10-7. Giants played decent defense most of the way. But Geno Smith couldn't get the job done. I mean, they got a chance at the goal line after blocking a punt, and Geno Smith fumbles. You know, I actually think if the Giants started Eli Manning in this game, they would have won. Because the Raiders did not play that game like they wanted to win. But the Giants are just so beaten and bashed. And if Ben McAdoo keeps his job beyond today, I will be... he's got to go. He has got to go. You usually don't want to fire a coach or a manager late in the season, but it's gotten so bad, they have to clean the room. Get some Lysol, put an interim coach in the final 4 games, and just begin working towards next year. In a battle for first place in NFC South, the New Orleans Saints beat the Carolina Panthers for the second time, 31-21. Now the Saints are clearly in the driver's seat, ahead of a Thursday night meeting with the Falcons. The Rams got their 9th win, ensuring their first winning season in 14 years, doubling up the Cardinals 32-16. And in the Sunday night game, the Eagles saw their 9-game winning streak come to an end at the home of the 12th man, 24-10 Seahawk win. You know, sometimes that crowd in Seattle, they lift their team up higher than anyone else can imagine. And the Seahawks, who've had a lot of injuries, played perhaps their best game of the season today. Quick NBA recap. Was the Magic over the Knicks, the Warriors over the Heat, the Timberwolves over the sinking Clippers, the Thunder beat the Spurs. Maybe this is the game that finally gets them going. Although I've said that before. And the Rockets shot down the Lakers. NHL, Kings beat the Blackhawks. Jets blanked the Senators. Stars over the Avalanche, and the Golden Knights got an overtime win over the Coyotes. Today's 3 stars are Alex Smith, who just had that spectacular game in a losing effort, Blake Bortles, Nikolai Vucevic of the Magic. Today's birthday shout-out goes to Knicks legend Bernard King, who turned 61. And we take a look back 20 years ago to when Corey Dillon rushed for 246 yards for the Cincinnati Bengals, setting a new single-game record for rookies. So check out the full story of Barstool Sports and its Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. Good day.